EastEnders icon Danny Dyer endures intense filming, taking a beating in violent scenes for the Football Factory sequel. Amidst the scuffle, Dyer's character braces for battle but ends up cowering. Despite a lukewarm reception to the first film, a sequel is underway, with Dyer reprising his role for the 2024 release. Legend Danny Dyer of EastEnders takes a battering while filming new, brutal scenes. Danny Dyer got into a significant altercation while filming his most recent assignment. 20 years after the first Football Factory movie's debut, the EastEnders icon was beaten by a group of guys while filming the sequel. Photographs show Danny, 46, preparing for combat while grasping a metal pole before being attacked by some boys who kick him to the ground. The soap actor, who was born in London, bared his teeth and lunged at the men, his countenance filled with anger. However, after first promising to confront the mob with all guns blazing, he quickly shows signs of fear and, in keeping with his character, cowers away. Danny was kept safe on the cold, damp floor by a crash mat, so thankfully there was no real bloodshed. The story of Tommy Johnson, played by Danny, and his football-mad mates was told in the 2004 film The Football Factory. Despite their reputation for using drugs and violence, they decide to alter their way of life after an altercation with a rival squad gets out of hand. The film also stars Neil Maskell, Tony Denham, Tamer Hassan, Frank Harper, and Roland Manukian. Unfortunately, the movie wasn't a huge hit and garnered a lot of bad reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an average rating of 4.70/10, placing it at 38%. Nevertheless, a follow-up has been approved, in which Danny will play Tommy once more. In homage to the drug use depicted in the first film, the working title of the sequel to the Football Hooligans film is Marching Powder. Although filming is currently in progress, executives are rumored to be planning for a 2024 release date, which would mark the movie's 20th anniversary. Filming for Football Factory 2 is expected to begin in January, a source recently told the Sun newspaper's Bazaar column. It's full steam ahead for Football Factory 2. Hopefully, they can make enough progress so that it is released in 2024, in time for the 20th anniversary. Marching Powder's script will reveal what happened to the rival factions of hooligans after the conclusion of the last film, they continued. Danny is extremely passionate about the project and is eager to reinvest in the part. Tamer Hassan, who portrayed Fred, the head of the Millwall firm, is returning for the movie. If everything goes according to plan, the production plan is being finalized, and the new year will be filled with excitement. With Danny's departure from EastEnders, he became a free agent. When Danny's character, Mick Carter, was killed off in the 2022 Christmas Day special for trying to save his on-screen wife Linda Carter by diving into the English Channel, the show came to an unfortunate end. Are Lilia Turner and Lacey Turner, the stars of EastEnders, related? Stacey and Lily Slater, a mother and daughter team on EastEnders, have a history of dramatic stories to tell, but are they related? Since assuming the part of Lily 4 years ago, 15-year-old Lilia has given birth to a daughter with neighbor Ricky Mitchell. The pop singer Charli XCX inspired the baby's name, Charlie, which pleased the mother, who felt the name was a memorial to her late Uncle Charlie. Meanwhile, Stacey, a fixture of Albert Square, has become entangled in her own drama following her involvement in Keanu Taylor's Christmas Day murder. He assisted 5 other Walford women in burying his body beneath the cafe's floor. The mystery is expected to be revealed in later episodes. Many fans have questioned whether the on-screen mother and daughter are connected because they have the same last name in real life. We know the following. Are Lilia Turner and Lacey Turner, the stars of EastEnders, related? The two are unrelated even though they have the same last name, Turner. In an even more bizarre coincidence, Lily Harvey, who played She Nice Quinn in the serial opera from 2011 to 2012, is Lacey's sister. Kat Slater met She Nice, the daughter of Martina Quinn, while on a trip to Spain. Brian Kirkwood, the executive producer of the soap opera at the time, claimed he was unaware of her relationship to the Stacey Slater scandal when she went in for an audition. He remarked at the time, whether by accident or design, I sat down and watched a tape of a very talented young girl. And I didn't find out it was Lacey's sister until after we made our decision. Lily was hired solely based on her own abilities. Daisy Turner, Lacey's other sister, has also resided in soap opera country. Daisy joined the Hollyoaks cast in 2011 as Rebecca Massey, one of the several victims of serial killer Silas Blissett. Daisy talked on how Lacey and her family supported her acting career at the time of her casting. Lacey and I played like children. We were allowed to perform, sing, dance, and act by our mother, Bev, she remarked. I received the call to let me know I had the part while I was at home with my mother and sisters. Lacey told me she was there if I needed her. Given how skilled she is at what she does, I suppose there is some pressure. She has been doing it for years, whereas I am just getting started. What plots are in store for the two? In the upcoming episodes, Sharon Watts returns from Australia to learn that the murder weapon that was used to kill Keanu has vanished. As the six gather together to investigate, the news that the cafe floor has collapsed and their hidden appearances will be made public shocks the women. The ladies must devise a new scheme to conceal the information while the locals are still in shock. Lily will be forced to spend time with Jade Massoud throughout the course of the upcoming week so that Harvey Monroe can monitor her. In an attempt to keep Jade from becoming well enough to relocate to Pakistan, her father Dean Wicks has been tampering with her medication in recent weeks. Lily's grandma Jean was made to leave her home after he placed the responsibility on her, as she was afraid he would denounce her to the police. 12 soap opera spoilers confirm the Coronation Street exit and major EastEnders and Emmerdale deaths. It promises to be the biggest week of the year so far for a number of our favorite serials, with tragic news and eagerly anticipated comebacks at the center of the soap operas next week. Both Hollyoaks and EastEnders are at the top of their respective games, with the return of Freddie Roscoe and Sharon Watts making fans' jaws drop. But it's not just Sharon's return that has Walford chatting away. Keanu Taylor's body has been found, and the floor of the cafe is collapsing. How exactly are the six going to negotiate their way out of this? Meanwhile, Freddie Roscoe, everyone's favorite bad guy, returns to Hollyoaks and quickly gets into a fight with Warren Fox. While Tracy Barlow is getting ready to leave Coronation Street for a new life elsewhere, Emmerdale is shaken by the news of a tragic death. But there's still more. Once more, it's that time of the week when I go over every spoiler for next week. I promise you, this one will not disappoint, so let's get started. EastEnders. After great fanfare, Sharon finally makes her long-awaited return to the square, which unsettles a hangover Linda who fears her best friend still holds grudges against her for Keanu's passing. But soon, the women aren't thinking about a friendship conflict. Sharon is shocked to learn that the meat thermometer has disappeared, not to mention that Johnny is omniscient. With plenty of arguing and chaos as she catches up on the events of the previous 3 months, Sharon, determined to take the lead, holds a crisis meeting with the six in the barrel shop. When the murder weapon turns up and Sharon agrees to get rid of it, things start to look good, but the matriarchs are unaware of what is about to happen. The floor at the cafe collapses. When Sharon tries to avoid Phil and his incessant questions about Albie, she learns about this. Although she tries to prevent the mechanic from seeing his kid, she begs him to support Albie when she is unable to. When Denise learns that the cafe floor is opening, she tries to run away, but Stacy and Suki convince her out of it by saying they can get her necklace back. The women break inside the diner after robbing Bernie of his keys, but Jack discovers them and demands an explanation. Later, after much talk about a body found in the cafe, the police show up to question Sharon and tell her that the victim is none other than Keanu. The six are concerned about their independence, but are the days of everyone's favorite matriarchs truly drawing to an end? Coronation Street. After hearing Daisy and Jenny talking about money and the need to exercise caution, Bethany becomes intrigued and soon plans to search through the pub's drawers in the hopes of learning more about the couple's secrecy. The journalist locates Stephen's journal and uses it as crucial information, stuffing it inside her purse. Later in the week, Jenny is compelled to reveal that she and Daisy stole the murderer's money when Carla grows suspicious of Bethany's meddling. Carla's reaction to the news? A patron of the cafe taunts Roy, implying that he is to blame for Lauren's abduction. David and Bernie rush to his aid, but Roy is distressed to learn of the difficulties he feels he has caused in his friend's life. Steve discovers a letter that Tommy Orpington wrote asking Tracy to travel to Spain with him. But before he can deliver the letter to Tracy, she declares that Tommy was a foolish mistake and that she wants to reunite with Steve. Consequently, Steve celebrates his reunion with Tracy by burning the letter. But will the facts be revealed? Yes, it does. In the moments that follow, Tracy muses of leaving Weatherfield to start over in Spain with Tommy. Is Tracy truly gone from our lives now, though? A talk that Ruby's husband had with Chaz throws off her plans to move away from the village with Caleb. Nonetheless, Caleb is later welcomed back into the family with open arms. A fight breaks out in the Woolpack, and Ruby, full of resentment, wants to start one. But, in the midst of the mayhem, she pushes recovering Chaz in the chest by mistake. When word of Pearl Ladderbank's passing reaches the community, Patty, Rhonda, and Vanessa find it difficult to deal with their sorrow as they bid farewell to the beloved icon. After speaking with Liam, Chaz becomes worried because he wonders if Aaron has been really truthful about the findings of his gene test. Equipped with these suspicions, she confronts her son, whose face throughout the disputed conversation reveals the truth. Aaron then tells Liam that he went too far by telling Chaz, and as a result, Liam is now seen to have injuries. Hollyoaks Warren is attacking everyone, so Mercedes pulls in the big guns to help, and as a result, Freddie Roscoe comes back to the hamlet. Warren is furious to see Freddie, and they get physical. Meanwhile, Darren is overjoyed by his brother's return. Diane and Tony start to cry as Ro tells them his new name. While Diane struggles, Tony decides to embrace the change, but Carter causes trouble at school by not respecting Ro's name or pronouns. Meanwhile, Kitty begs Diane and Tony to put their son's needs first by avoiding confrontation. After being freed from captivity, STE goes back home, but Lucas and Leah have not forgiven their father. Cindy warns Warren to leave them alone and tells the gangster that they are not to blame for their father's actions, but Warren leaves the teenagers scared of what he would do next. In the meantime, Sienna jumps to STE's defense as well, telling Warren to back off or she won't allow him to see the children. Sienna, tell him. Please subscribe our channel.